the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the PRO Sidewinder Dirt Series, round number 5. 360 wing sprint cars from the world-famous Knoxville Speedway. Got around 20 of these drivers checked in here tonight. First time at Knoxville since the new build here. Heard mixed reviews on the way this track has taken the changes that iRacing has set forth for this particular season. They did away with all the rough stuff up on the cushion, added a little moisture so the tracks are going to stay tacky a little longer. It's changed the way the cars race quite a bit. It's changed the way drivers can approach the track quite a bit. Should make for some interesting racing. I've heard guys were able to go 2 wide, 3 wide. I've also heard that it turns into a single line choo-choo train, but we won't know for sure until we get them out there on the track, get these guys ripping around here, see how it goes. This is one of the groups that was involved in the Triple Crown Showdown last week, all 4 nights of that, and they represented well. They had plenty of drivers in on the final night for all 3 classes. Guys did very well. A couple of the drivers picking up some extra prizes at the end of that deal last week. If you missed that, you can go back and watch that. YouTube, Twitch, and the Facebook. Missed a good one last night if you weren't here. USA, the Dirt Slingers, Monday Night Thunder Series. Good race. Guys went almost flag to flag. Got a caution on lap 1. Went the rest of the distance. We expect something very similar here with these guys tonight. A lot of the old familiar faces. Yo Jabroni in here, second quick on the speed chart right now. Daniel Zegers, Casey Miller, Jeff Stewart, Robbie Schaefer, Josh Gerlach, Nick Cohan's here, Terry Mustard, John Borst, Reed Rundle in the house tonight, Chris Chabot, William Evans up here. Out of the big blocks into the sprint cars.
No reset.
Anthony DeBarro. So a lot of familiar faces in here. Not seeing a couple. Where's the 128? I do not see. I do not see the 128 car anywhere in. No, not in the list. So, gonna miss. We had 2 podium runs to start the season. Gonna miss the 3rd race, it looks like. Down to just a couple of minutes. We're gonna go trackside here in just a few minutes, folks. Get our opening ceremonies out of the way. Appreciate everybody tuning in. See a big crowd. Say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Doesn't matter if you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or you're watching on one of the Facebook pages. If you are on Facebook, come by the Dirt Racing Network. Click like, share, follow, share us with your friends. Let them know where you're watching the best dirt racing on the service. Go over on YouTube and Twitch, hit that subscribe button. You know every time we go live. Things starting to pick up as it cools off and real race seasons are ending. More drivers coming back to sim racing, more leagues starting to fire back up. Getting a lot of people inquiring about having us cover their stuff. So we are trying to accommodate everybody and put some more guys to work. So going to see more racing, hopefully in the very near future here. More than what we cover right now, which is 5 nights. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some Thursdays that we're covering. The PRO guys tonight, tomorrow night, Dirt Slingers. Wednesday Night Warriors, presented by Grand Garage. Big Block Modifieds at Kokomo. Don't forget to check them out. But I am getting word that it is time to go trackside. And for our opening ceremonies, let's turn it over to the public address.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, drivers already on track as we return during the qualifying period. Got our eyes on the 0-1 of Nick Shamborn. Right now, Casey Miller showing the way. 16.176, second lap. 16.163, so improved slightly. He has P1 as Shamborn, 16.194. Then Robbie Schaefer, Jeff Stewart, and Anthony DeBarro. Still haven't seen William Evans on track. Got Daniels and Josh Gerlach. Let's go watch the 71 machine out here. Gerlach on the clock now. So is Nick Cohan. Cohan up to fifth, 16.326 on his first lap. Reed Rundle on track, 16.375 for his first. Josh Gerlach all the way to P5, 16.318, lap number one. Cohan done at 16.326. So he will fall to fifth. Reed Rundle still hanging in there in the ninth position right now. The second lap for Gerlach, a little quicker, 16.302. So just a tick of improvement. Reed Rundle jumps it up to 16.330. He is eighth quick as he had no change. Just picked up a little bit of time right there. Everybody has finished qualifying. See William Evans, 16.567. Posted a time 17th quickest out of 20. So qualifying coming to an end. Well, I see Dirty Monkey Motorsports over there on YouTube. Man, it sucks your power goes. I hate when the power goes. That's why I bought a battery backup, because that gives me time for my backup generator to kick in and bring power back to the house so that I'm not in one of those situations. So I feel for you, brother. All right, 20 cars. Going to have a couple of heat races here. I don't believe we'll have a B main. We should skip straight to the feature tonight. Looks like 3 heat races on tap. 7 cars, and 6 cars for us. Let's get down here and get ready to run down the CJAuto21.com starting lineup. It'll look like this for Heat 1. On the pole, the netcode eSports number 11 from Eudora, Kansas, Jarrett Watkins. And on his outside, the Full Moon Garage number 10 out of Hamburg, Pennsylvania, Robbie Schaefer. Your second row on the inside, the over-the-wall photography at number 72 from Milford, Ohio, Jeff Stewart. And on the outside of him, the 8 car of Daniel Zegers. That's your invert for Heat number 1. 4-car invert. Row 3. On to the inside, another netcode eSports entry. That is the 2 car of Robert Lynn out of Peoria, Illinois. And on his outside, the Circle Jerks podcast, number 74 from Bedford, New Hampshire, of Daniel Walker. And rounding out the field on the back row in the Goon Motorsports number 43 out of Houston, Texas. And I'm so glad that Houston got sideswiped by that Category 1 hurricane today. Several friends down there, and I was checking in on them. But Hondo Longmire down there, and Hondo, real happy that thing sideswiped you guys and didn't catch you, because it wasn't going to be a bad one, but you guys have had enough fun with hurricanes the last few years. I'm just kind of happy that it didn't get there to you. So 7 cars, everybody's going to make the feature. Racing for starting positions here. They will do a manual redraw, and on the first lap, they will rearrange the redraw cars, and I think it's 3 from each heat race that get in there, if my math is correct. And I've never claimed to be any kind of correct politically or otherwise. I'm trying to look at the nightly race sheet, but the pace truck's going to head for the infield heat race number 1 under the green flag, and Watkins got a big jump. Jeff Stewart trying to work the bottom there out of 2. He's going to get around Schaefer. Kind of has second in hand for the moment. We'll see where it's at the end of 3 and 4. Zager's worked inside. They almost touch wheels right there in the middle of 3 and 4. Schaefer's still pinned to the outside. Inside line looks where everything is at right now as far as grip, as Zegers went almost 2 for 1 in that lap as he got around Schaefer and then went around Stewart. He is hugging the berm down there with everybody chasing Watkins right now. And Watkins a little out of shape getting into 1 and 2. That car looks just a little free right now. Zeger second, Stewart third, Schaefer fourth, Robert Lynn in fifth, Daniel Walker and Hondo Longmire rounding out the field. Don't look now, still 5 laps to go. And Zegers able to hug that inside right there. He is making it work down on the bottom, closing in. Everybody else kind of running the middle. 1 and 2 seems to be where he makes up all of his ground. Still Watkins out front, but Zeger's putting on the pressure now. Zeger's trying to get to the inside, showed him the nose back in 1 and 2. Doesn't quite get close enough to show it to him again, but I am sure that Watkins can hear the roar of that engine off to his left. Little contact right there. Watkins going to go around. Zegers had to get off the throttle to grab the nose of the car back. That stacked everybody behind him up and allowed Schaefer to get to the inside of Stewart. Watch the battle right here for second as Zegers looks to have this one in hand. Schaefer slides the right rear across the left front of Stewart. He takes over second. We're going to come to the checker flag. Out of turn number 4, and Zegers will pick up the win in heat 1. Then Schaefer, Stewart, Lynn, Walker, Longmire, and Watkins ended up taking the 11 car off the track. Pretty hard impact with the outside wall. Not much of a surprise that he was there. So 1 in the books. We will get ready to head down to the starting grid for heat race number 2. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, guys. Thank you for the big crowd. Say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Get ready to run down the starting lineup for heat race number 2. Your CJAuto21.com starting lineup looks like this. The 27 car of Anthony Navarro on the pole, and on his outside, the Buddies Racing Equipment TDC race team. Number 43 from Oxford, Michigan, of Reed Rundle. Second row inside, the alwaysraceday.com Netcode eSports. Number 71 from Bondurant, Iowa, of Josh Gerlach, and on his outside, the Long Lane Racing. Number 5 out of York Haven, Pennsylvania, Casey Miller, your current points leader in the series. Third row, 24 car of Chris Jabot inside, and this 711 of William Evans on his outside. I don't think Williams made the call, so I think we're going to see Rod Fitzke in the 3 car slide to the outside of that row. That is the purple car with the green numbers. Should see him slide to the outside of that third row, so we will have 7 cars in the first heat, 6 in each of the subsequent heats. And these guys will get ready to head for the feature here shortly. A lot of work left in front of them. They got to figure out where they're going to start in each heat or in each row of the feature from these heat races. These guys are get 8 laps right here. All right. Pace truck going to make the hard left turn right about here. Just waiting for DeBarro to find the loud pedal.
Green, green, green.
He does so, and we are underway. Reed Arundel trying to hang on to second. Orange and white car on the middle of the track right there, and he's got Josh Gerlach, the all-orange machine, down on the inside, and Gerlach looks like he's got the advantage going into 3 and 4. Gerlach takes the spot away. Rundle going to fight back on the bottom. Here comes Casey Miller. Never count out that teal and white machine, the 05 right there. Casey Miller just knows how to go fast and get to the front, and he's liable to make this a 3-ride situation here in just a second. He's quicker than both these guys. You can see it. He closes up, has to check up. Rundle took the spot back from Gerlach, and there came Miller. Miller just couldn't move Rundle up the hill far enough. Rundle shuts the door again. Miller with a left front tap to the berm on the inside of 2 causes him to lose a lot of momentum. DeBarro's got the lead, then Gerlach, Rundle, Miller, Jabot, and Finsky. Second place has changed hands no less than a dozen times in the first 4 laps. Here comes Miller on the inside. Going to try to take third away from Rundle. He's done so through 3 and 4. Now got his sight set on Gerlach. I don't think he's got enough time to run down DeBarro. Jabot back here. Fitzke way back. DeBarro 15 car lengths out in front 2 laps to go this time. And Gerlach now has company. Here comes Miller. Miller trying to keep the car pinned on the bottom. Got the right rear in that little slick groove that's starting to develop about a car width up off the bottom. Down in 1 and 2, and he lost all the momentum he gained previous laps. White flag in the air one more time for these guys. Heat race number 2. Good run off the corner for Miller. I don't think he can do anything with it unless he makes a drastic move here, and there's just not enough ponies underneath the hood of the 05. DeBarro wins it. Gerlach second, Miller third, Rundle fourth, then Jabot and Fitzke. So we head for Heat 3. Our CJAuto21.com starting lineup looks like this. The TMJ Racing number 0 from Waverly, Ohio, Terry Mustard on the pole. And on his outside, the 14 car of J.G. Boydell. Second row on the inside, the CJ Auto Perk Coffee Dizzy Motorsports number 21 out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania. That's Nick Cohan. And on his outside, in the A treat, Dizzy Trucking Dizzy Motorsports number 01 from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. The jabroni Nick Chambrorn. Your third row on the inside, the final row. The Long Lane Racing number 19 of Corbin Hutchison out of York Haven, Pennsylvania on the inside, and on the outside, the 86 car of John Borst. So I think Terry Mustard switched it up on me, and he's been changing paint fairly regular, so he's driving the 35 car tonight. I don't know, maybe the 0 car still has broken parts, and he borrowed a car. I'm not exactly sure, but he's out here in that red and black number 35 machine. Good field in this one. We're going to watch the 2 guys on the second row, the guy on the inside of the front row for sure. Those 3 guys. Always close together, always mixing it up. Just waiting for the pace truck to get out of the way and let Terry Mustard get the final heat race of the evening started. He does so, jumps on the throttle. He absolutely caught Boydell asleep behind the wheel. He's going to have a big lead. Cohan's going to slide through and head for second, almost 3 wide out of turn number 2. As Hutchison looked on the inside of Boydell, and Cohan was stacked to the outside. Now trying to get single file, but the Jabroni up there trying to work the top side and get around the 14. Does not want Cohan to get too far away. Contact, and more contact, and Jambrone. Now more contact with Hutchison. That's not going to work out good. No cautions in our heat races. Those guys are going to make the feature. They're just going to start deep now, and it's a 3-car race with Mustard, Cohan, and Borst out in front of this thing. I think Hutchison got to drive away, got the car spun around. It's broken left rear. It's hanging low there, but it looks like Boydell is also going to have that problem. As the left rear looks like it's hanging a little bit low, and Chambrone took it to the pits. So coming around to complete 3, Terry Mustard. Got a good jump at the start, and he's been able to hold the lead. I see Cohan. I watched Cohan do this in warm-ups. He'd run in the low side or the middle and drift that car all the way out to the top, and didn't seem like it was working too good for him. In fact, he got the car spun around at least once, but we'll see if he can use that to his advantage. Maybe try and keep the car wound up and chase down Mustard. John Borst running a pretty good line. Actually started to close in there on Cohan for a second. Now looks like he's going to lose just a little ground as that modified slider line starting to work. Cohan starting to reel in. Your leader cut off about a 1/2 tenth the last lap, down to 2 to go. Going to be 1 to go this time. Needs to make a lot of car lengths up in a hurry right here. I don't think he's going to get there. The white flag's going to come out with about just under 3/10 of a second separation there. So Mustard on the white lap out of turn 4, checks in hand. He'll win heat 3. Cohan is second, Borst is third, then Hutchison in 4th, Boydell 5th, and Nick Chambrone. Broken and on the hook early. He will start deep in tonight's A main field. So a little warm up in place. Gives us just a moment to remind everybody, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Dominic Santina or myself, not sure, we'll have the call for the Dirt Slingers, a Wednesday Night Warriors Big Block Modified Series there in Kokomo for round number 2 of that series. Presented by Grand Garage, Tim Sims, Wicked Cushion Esports, Edmund Trophy and Awards, whole laundry list. A big shout out to my man Tim Nichols. Don't know if Tim's watching. Usually says hi in chat. Haven't seen him yet tonight, but if he's checking us out tonight, big shout out to him. Always a great sponsor for all of the Dirt Series around. These guys are going to take a couple of minutes, wear the track down just a little bit more. They'd like to see it widen out a little bit. New tire model. Seems to have changed the way all the sprint cars are driving right now. And it looks like the slick is not nearly as detrimental as it once was, as long as you keep the car kind of facing straight ahead. Don't get it too sideways. So the guys want to blow the track off a little bit, make the bottom and the top work. Don't forget to say hi in the chat. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're on Twitch, YouTube, or any of the Facebook channels, I can see it. When you type into the chat, let us know where you're watching from. If you got a favorite driver, let us know who it is. Pick the winner for tonight. Driver's just trying to burn the track down a little bit and widen out the slick groove right now. Josh Gerlach, you there, buddy? Josh Gerlach, you got a copy? Hello, Josh. Roger Wagner in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
I do, Roger. Sorry, I had stepped away. How's it going?
Not too bad. Hey, man, so tell me, what's the difference from the driver's perspective of all the changes that iRacing threw at this particular track? Because I've heard mixed reviews.
Oh man, for the track or the car?
Both. This car on this track.
So this is the first that I've gotten to run it. It's definitely different. I feel like my first taste of the new tire on the sprint car was last week during the Triple Crown Showdown, and I feel like it's a lot more connected to the track, which is good. We've noticed tonight though that the track just isn't getting very wide, so I think we bumped up the wear on the track state for the race, so hopefully that will help a little bit. But overall, it seems okay. We'll see how it races in an actual race here soon.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I've heard mixed reviews. Some guys said that, when the track gets burned in just right, you get your 2 lanes of racing back. They took all the bumps out right up by the fence. But some guys have said that for a very long time it turns into a freight train type track, and I was just kind of wondering if that's what you experienced in your heat race out there.
And yeah, in the heat for sure. It's typical Knoxville, I think, heat race where it's a lot of freight train stuff. But hopefully it gets good for the feature. I think with us resetting the track a little bit, hopefully it takes, and I think it should be a pretty good feature.
71 car going to Victory Circle tonight?
That's the plan, man. We got some fast guys here tonight, though, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there. We hope to talk to you here in just a little bit.
Appreciate it, Roger. Thank you.
All right, Nick. Brought Josh Gerlach in here. Was going to grab Nick Cohan, but I talked to Nick enough, and yeah, I just felt like talking to Josh that time. So hopefully Josh can bring the 71 car to the front. He did well, actually, in that Triple Crown Showdown this last weekend. Great event for everybody. Everybody had a lot of fun, I think. And, between the 3 series, I think we're going to try to do something like that again. Keep it in conjunction with DRN and see what we can come up with for something exciting. Maybe mid to late November. Well, looks like everybody are ready to go racing. So we're going to line all 20 of them up. We'll run down the starting grid. It's going to be Daniel Zegers on the pole with Anthony DeBarro to his outside. Then Terry Mustard and Robbie Schaefer in row 2. Row 3, Josh Gerlach and Nick Cohan. Now, all those drivers may switch spots as soon as we get to lap number 1. They'll keep the cars at pace speed. There was a redraw, but that is how they were slated according to the service to line up. Redraw may change that. Your 4th row, Jeffrey Stewart inside, Casey Miller outside. We're going to watch the 05 car. He has picked off wins consistently in the series and has really done well. Won the championship last season. He's your defending title holder. The 5th row, John Borst and a Robert Lynn inside and out. And then in row 6, Reed Rundle will start inside with Corbin Hutchison on the outside. Daniel Walker on the inside of row 7 with Chris Jabot to his outside. J.G. Boydell and Hondo Longmire side by side in row number 8. 9th row, Roderick Fitzke and Nick Chambrone, after Chambrone's bad luck in his heat race, starting 18th in this one. And then we're going to bring him in on the back, Jared Watkins. I don't think William Evans made it. Don't see him on the grid. So we're going to have 19 of our 20 cars. So we get them all fired up, get them rolling out here. They're going to do another pace lap. They'll come around, catch the green flag. We will hold them at pace speed for 1 full lap while they make sure about the redraw. And then these guys will start themselves coming out of 4 at the end of the 3rd lap. And after that, iRacing will be in control of calling the cautions. We'll call the race for you. Good look at them all spread out there, getting ready to go to their 2x2 positions once that pace truck leaves. Green will show, but we will hold pace speed 1 more time around.
Green, green, green.
Just looking to see if we have any shuffle in the order redraw. Oh, looks like Mustard. It's going to the front row, whether it's inside or outside, I'm not sure. Here comes John Borst coming up here. So Borst going to be on the pole. Then Mustard outside, looks like Zagers and Schaefer behind that. Cohan and DeBarro in the third row, and then the rest of the field lined up just like we said they did. Green flag in the air. We're underway. The Hard Knocks 30 presented by CJAuto21.com, Netcode Esports, and many others. Extra Life. And right now, waiting to see. Zagers had the point at the end of a lap number one, and he's using the bottom to get away from Borst. Borst started on the pole, and Borst now sitting in second. Terry Mustard trying to hang on to third. He started outside your front row. Schaefer, DeBarro, and Cohan in that top six. Here comes Casey Miller. Miller started 8th up to 7th, working the inside. 3 wide stack right there. DeBarro, Schaefer, and Miller, as Miller got around Cohan for a second. This is a battle right outside your top 5. 5th place up for grabs right now. Casey Miller and Robbie Schaefer side by side for that spot. DeBarro almost contact with Mustard right there. Mustard got away as DeBarro rolled out of the throttle. That lets Casey Miller close in, and Miller's working the bottom side. He's going to take another spot. Rolling the bottoms, got that 05 car hooked up on the inside right now. He was up to 4th. Still hanging on. We'll see where he's at the end of this lap, but Zagers is 1.9 seconds in front of these guys. This is the best part of the racing right here. Second on back, as you see Cohan going way top shelf. Took the 21 car right out to the fence. Trying to use the top side. He gets around Schaefer, moved Cohan to 6th. Miller still mired in 4th, but he did get around DeBarro. Now trying to work the high side on Borst. Miller got around Borst. Cohan's trying to go there. Schaefer's going there. They were almost 3 wide in the top third of the track. They're 2 wide, 2 deep behind John Borst right there. Cohan and DeBarro working the top side. Borst and Miller in the middle. Here comes Gerlach on the top side. Gerlach currently scored in 8th. Jeff Stewart on the inside scored in 9th back here. The 10th place car, Robert Lynn. The 2-car caution.
Caution is out.
I'm not sure who that was. That Jabot maybe? I think Chris Jabot in this 24 car. He's kind of by himself. Got a car or two behind him. See what happens to him. Comes out, of course, smacked the wall. Got it 2 wide. Yep. That will hurt every single time. So up to the front, quick look at the top 10. Zagers, Mustard, Miller, Cohan, DeBarro, Borst, Gerlach, Schaefer, Stewart, and Lynn. About 9 laps into this. Still got about 21 to go. All right, lights off on the pace truck, getting ready to go back to a green. So still 18 cars on the track, 21 laps remaining. Daniel Zegers about to bring us back to green. That caution may have been what Casey Miller needed to get his bearings and get close enough to try to get Zegers, but Zegers with another great start. Here comes Miller on the inside. Does he have enough ponies? Getting up off the corner, going to pull alongside into turn 3 on Terry Mustard. Mustard staying locked on the top side. Miller ripping the bottom right there. Miller takes the spot cleanly away. Now going to set his sights on that 8 car in front of him. Nick Cohan around the top side. Had momentum off of 2. He's going to go after Mustard here for a podium spot. Coming out of turn 4, they're going to be side by side. Still Mustard at the line by half a car. Cohan, good runs through the top of 2 each and every lap so far. Now moves the 21 machine into third. Mustard,
All right, man.
the 35 back, and that may be relinquished. It looks like Reed Rundle having a problem. That's uncharacteristic of Mr. Rundle, but let's go and see. 43 car right there against the top side. Oh, got it wide there. Does he clip the fence? No! Looks like Dylan Hutchison. Or Corbin Hutchison, excuse me. Corbin Hutchison. Just across the track and right rear. Right into the Nerf bar, and up he goes. So everybody going to get lined to back up single file. Zegers still out front, but Miller's up to second. Mustard back to third. Now Cohan in fourth. DeBarro is fifth. Gerlach in sixth. Stewart seventh. Borst went all the way back to eighth. Robbie Schaefer ninth. And Robert Lynn stayed inside the top 10. We are about to get back at it. 18 laps remaining. Zegers on the throttle. Once again with another good start. Gets several car limits. Miller able to keep the left sides down against the berm. Zegers was able to do the same, and the lead maintains. Mustard hanging on to third. Cohan, I thought, had Mustard for a second. The car completes this lap after the score. Put Mustard back in front of Cohan, and now he's on the top side. Saw what Cohan did. He's going to move up there. Trying to keep the top cover. That's going to open the bottom for DeBarro. DeBarro working the inside on Cohan and Mustard right now. He may get it. He can get a good run out of 1 and 2. Now Cohan cuts the car low out of 2. He's going to get a great run 3 wide as DeBarro lost momentum. Mustard was high. Cohan was low, and Cohan goes 2 for 1 down the backstretch. And Mustard takes it back out of 4 with a nice crossover move. Good battling here, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Top 2 separated by almost a second. It's another 3/4 of a second back to this battle, and it's 3 wide again out of 4. These 3 going at it hot and heavy right here. There goes Cohan, going to look way low. Got the shot. Took the spot from DeBarro. Now trying to work on Mustard's late slider. This time Mustard still with the counter, and he's going to hang on to it. That puts Cohan and DeBarro back side by side. This time Cohan stays up high. DeBarro couldn't shut the door. Cohan too much of a run. Now out of 4, does Cohan have enough? There's just a lot of grip in the bottom of 3 and 4. I think 1 and 2, you take the high line. 3 and 4, you try to get to the bottom. You get a huge advantage. And there goes Cohan, slider line again. Opens the door a little bit, but not enough for Navarro to get there. Zegers maintaining almost a full second over Miller. Miller maintaining about 8/10 over Mustard. And Mustard, not much, maybe 3/10 in front of Cohan. Navarro right behind that. That's your top 5. Jeff Stewart, Josh Gerlach, 6 and 7. Robbie Schaefer, 8. Chambrone up to 9th. Good recovery and good run towards the front now for the 01 machine. He's inside the top 10, and he brings Jared Watkins behind him. They move Robert Lynn to 11th. Zegers starting to stretch it out. Miller's now going to go to the top side. Mustard, slider line in 3 and 4, got close but didn't quite get to the back end of the 05. Second, third, and fourth on the screen right now. Mustard has third. Cohan had it briefly. Mustard able to work and get it back. Barrow's starting to get pressure here from Gerlach. Gerlach's going to have pressure on the inside from Jeff Stewart. Down to it, 5 to go this time by. Now Gerlach pearled alongside for just a moment, but DeBarro able to get a good run out of the bottom of turn 2. Takes the spot back in 3 and 4, keep him at 5th. Everybody else single file, but these two right now, they are really getting at it for a top 5 finish in this thing. We're going to have 4 to go this time as Zegers is already at the line. Daniel Zegers, 2 1/4 seconds ahead of Casey Miller. Terry Mustard, less than 2/10 of a second behind in third. Then it's about 8/10 back to Nick Cohan. 3 to go this time. Cohan looking for grip anywhere he can get it. Cut down line in 1 and 2. Gerlach got completely around DeBarro now. He's starting to close in. I think he's going to run out of time before he gets to Cohan, unless Cohan makes a mistake. Mustard working in the middle, lost the back end of the car, lost all the momentum there. It's all Zegers. 2.7 seconds. White flag in the air. Final time around. Miller and Mustard, your top 3. But Zegers got the lead early, never looked back, drove away from the field. He's going to pick up the win here in week number 3, round 5 overall of the series. Casey Miller and Terry Mustard are going to finish 2nd and 3rd, and another podium for Casey Miller. So we will wait for the drivers to get around here. Get them all posed up for us here on the front stretch. Zegers, here's Miller, and here comes Terry. Well, we'll deal with them right there. All right, start finding these guys here in the chat if we can. Might have to wait for him to come in and get into the channel with us here. There's Terry Mustard. Terry Mustard, you got a copy?
I do, buddy. How are you?
Well, I'm good, man. You had a heck of a run tonight there. Podium spot, finished third. You had to battle a little bit to keep that spot. Tell us a little bit about the feature run tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I tell you what, this new tire models that they put in, it feels like now once the track gets slicker, it'll get slicker, but then it feels like it wants to take rubber as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was a great night, man. That's for sure.
Well, we heard mixed reviews, and we talked to Josh Gerlach during the warm-up session, and he was saying that it felt like the car was a little more connected to the track, and I heard mixed reviews that it turned into a one-lane deal, and you couldn't have two-lane racing. But from the perspective up here in the booth, it looked like you guys were able to really go at it. You and Cohan and DeBarro had a heck of a three-wide battle there for a while, man. Is that just a product of this new type of racing we're going to see?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I could hear guys all around me, and I thought, man, this is a lot of fun. I could feel guys that come underneath. I mean, and Nick throwed a couple big sliders right there, man. And I was able to dive back under him, and then you still can use throttle control, and then also, keep the car planted as well. So, yeah, I think it's going to work out well for a lot of guys.
Well, an awesome run, man. Noticed you were in a little different paint tonight. Quickly tell us what that's about.
Yeah, this is actually Ronnie Blair. He's from Troy, Ohio. He is actually the guy that I help work on the race car on. This is his paint scheme, and he's actually watching tonight. So, hey, Ronnie, I put her in third place, buddy. So hopefully we're done all right.
Well, podium spot is always something to be happy about, especially when you're repping somebody else's paint, man. Who is on to that car so we can give props?
Double J Construction. They are a construction company out of Troy, Ohio.
All right, man. Well, fantastic run. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Look forward to seeing you next week in the big blocks.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Terry Mustard finishes third tonight. Let's get Casey Miller up here. Casey Miller, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, another podium run in this 360 series, man. Tell us what the new tire model, the new track states feel like, and how you're able to stay so consistent and keep this thing on the podium every week.
Well, the only other experience I had with the tire model was last, Wednesday and Friday with running the Triple Crown. I like it. I mean, I just found that you just have to keep your wing at either -10 or 0 pretty much to keep any speed.
So the wing angle is creating a lot of drag. The aero glitch that they said is there actually is a real thing.
Oh, okay.
I guess you didn't know about that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I was getting some reports from some other guys that were doing some testing last week, and they were saying you either got to run 0 or -10, and it makes about a little more than 1/10 of a second difference in how the car performs out there. So a little bit of news for you. Hope maybe you learned something. Maybe iRacing will give us a little fix for that. But still a fantastic round, man. You battled pretty hard to get up there, and once you got around Mustard, I don't know what the 8 car was doing different than you were, but it's the first time I've seen somebody walk away from you in this series.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so good. I just couldn't. I was trying to hit the bottom as good as him. I just couldn't hit it.
Well, an awesome run anyway. Who do you got helping you out each and every week before we let you go celebrate, man?
I'd just like to thank Team LLR, and I also like to thank you for putting on that Triple Crown last week. That was a lot of fun. Hope to run it again soon.
Well, we're going to do something. It may be a little different than that, but we're all going to get together and do something. May not be until November, but we're going to try to do 3 or 4 of these a year. So we appreciate that, man. Thanks for chatting with us. I look forward to seeing you back in the big blocks. With Gladfelter not here, that's going to really help you in these points. I don't know where Gabe was at, but that's going to open things up a little because he was getting kind of close there after a couple of races.
Yeah, I know. I was in overall points. I was sitting third behind Shambrone and Gerlach. So.
All right, man. Well, a fantastic night. We appreciate you chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
Yep.
Second place finisher, Casey Miller. Now, let's talk to the guy. He wasted very little time, very little movements, and he just flat drove away from these guys. About 2.7 seconds at the end of this thing. Daniel Zegers, you there, buddy?
You bet.
Well, man, you made it look easy. You took the lead real early, and I said it right at the end there. Nobody really ever challenged you. How'd you make it look so easy out here in Knoxville tonight?
Yeah, great question. I think the new tire model and the bottom of the racetrack here, a lot of guys stayed away from it. Now you can keep your left tire kind of up on the berm, and it's kind of a fine line. And, yeah, I managed to run pretty consistent there for 30 laps. Really just hammering down the bottom. I tried one other line through the middle on one lap, realized it was way slower, and just went back and kind of just burnt it down, and it ended up working out. So.
Well, we talked to the other guys, and I had mixed reviews from guys that were testing right after we got the new update, and they said that, one of two things. You either have to run the wing at 0 or 10 to get that extra burst of speed, but that this track really was either one line all at the top or all at the bottom, and you really didn't get side-by-side racing. Behind you, we saw some great side-by-side racing, but they were running all over the track, and you were just walking away on the bottom. It just a product of the new tire and the moisture. Is it going to be something that they're going to have to change if we're going to bring the sliders and the cut unders and everything back, or is something that guys are just going to have to figure out so we can get back to that kind of racing?
Yeah, great question. And we've been checking this out as a team on the wing angles, playing with a bunch of setups to see how much faster we can make the car. And through running officials and practices, there's not a lot of difference between any kind of setup change. It's really just finding a line and then throttle control. But everybody seems fast. Every setup seems fast. So it's going to be tough to make multiple lines work. I think yesterday in your guys' league, we made a few work there at the end. Some were running the bottom, some were on the top at USA. So I think it's really going to be track dependent. 410s maybe more so than 360s. Depending on how much the track gets worn in. But there's been some promise on some multi-lane racing, but yeah, I don't know if iRacing is going to change anything, if they're going to make us find it in setups. We're for sure searching to see if we can find any difference. But I think, it's everybody's going to be competitive. I think it's just finding that line early and sticking to it, and then when it seems to stay around even once it wears off. So, yeah, does iRacing make a change? Maybe. I don't know, but it seems to be a lot more competitive, and it seems a lot more like real life racing, where it's really tough to pass in a wing car. So
is it going to be something where we have to let the tracks kind of blow completely out because the new tire model accepts the slick tracks a lot better?
Yeah, it seems like it. When you can ride 70-80% throttle through the middle of the slick and still have quite a bit of grip, that's going to get multi-lane racing if the entire track is blown off. As we saw at USA or something, the top was still really tacky, but the bottom was slick as can be, but you were just as fast on the bottom, shorter way around the racetrack. So I think the whole track's going to have to slick off. If you get Knoxville at 100% slick from wear in, then I think it would provide some multi-lane racing everybody wants to see, but obviously that's going to take a few league sessions to figure that out.
Well, we'll keep an eye on all of that, especially for the DSRL guys. Well, who's on the car helping you out, helping you get to victory lane tonight before we let you get out of here and celebrate an awesome win, man?
Yeah, I mean, big shout out again to Elbows Up, as always. Say the same thing there. Everybody's helping wrench on the car, and we're learning from each other. Continuing to get better. So huge shout out as always to them, to the pro league for putting this on. Roger, for you helping out in the booth with the broadcast as always. Flow Racing, go to our Facebook page, hit the subscription, use the link. Catch Fence, Anderson Speedway, everybody else on the car, Roof Co. They all help, and it should be a good season. So.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the win. Thanks for chatting with us, and we look forward to talking to you later on in the week.
You bet. Thanks again, Roger, for all you do.
All right. Your winner tonight, Daniel Zeggers. Let's run down our official results. Zeggers wins it. Miller was second, and Mustard was third. Then Nick Cohan comes home in fourth. Josh Gerlach, after we talked to him, had a good run. Comes home into the top five tonight. Didn't put it on top of the podium, but another solid run is going to help him in the points a little bit. Anthony DeBarro wins sixth. Jeff Stewart was seventh. Jarrett Watkins eighth. Ninth to Robert Lynn. John Bors 10th. Robbie Schaefer was 11th. J.G. Boydell brings it home 12th. Corbin Hutchison 13th. Nick Chambrone way up towards the front. I don't know what happened to him late in this thing. He got inside the top 10 to about 8th. He fell back late in the going. He comes home 14th tonight. Daniel Walker 15th. 16th to Roderick Fitzke. Hondo Longmire in 17th. Reed Rundle. Bad night for him. Tumbled it down. I believe the backstretch it was. He comes home 18th. Chris Jabot 19th. And William Evans did not make the call, but will be scored in at 20th. So another great run for the guys at PRO. They will be here next week in the big blocks as round number 6 kicks off. Maybe we'll see that 128 car of Gabe Gladfelter, the defending series champion, back in action. Don't forget about tomorrow night. Right in the back here, whether it's myself or Dominic Santino, we have not made that decision yet. I don't know if he still has more of his Pro Pulling League stuff that he has to cover. I think he said he had one more week. He's got to be somewhere Saturday, so he may not be here. It may be me again tomorrow night with the Dirt Slingers. Wednesday Night Warriors Big Block Modified Series presented by Grand Garage. Tune in for that, 8 o'clock Eastern. Say hi in the chat. Don't be afraid to let us know you're here. We appreciate you guys. Every time you tune in, we know you can watch this stuff anywhere you choose to watch it with us, so it is greatly appreciated. Till we see you the next time, for Dominic Santino and myself, we want to wish you guys